What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Sporgo. And the update has just arrived, so we're going to take a look at it, guys, and see what all entails in this update. So the first thing that we have is the check-in login event, which is pretty nice. We're going to get an assortment of awards and awards and all kinds of little goodies. Nothing really different compared to what we normally get. And then we have the Lady Goenitz dice game, where we're going to be acquiring dice through the login event, and I believe through the Rush Dungeon as well. And, you can get some rubies at the very top, but nothing really too major, in all honesty, guys. I mean, a lot of the typical same old things that we've come to expect. These things are kind of nice, for the dispatch missions. But other than that, nothing really too crazy or different. Then we have the Chizuru crafting event, where we can craft our stones, right? So obviously, if we level up our characters to A5, I believe we can get shards through the dice game. I believe we can also get them through the Rush Dungeon. There is no tower in this event, which is kind of surprising. We also have a Summer Celebration puzzle event, where you can acquire certain puzzle pieces, to add to your inventory, for show and tell. Then we have the Lucky Summer Bingo, which is kind of nice. We're going to be able to gain some rubies, also get some more shards here, which is pretty cool, right? And then you have this little item here, which can give you some rubies, which is pretty sweet, right? Not too bad. All free stuff. We can deal with that. And then when we get out of here, of course, you have the event codex, where you take a look at the stones for the characters. Not really going to get into that in this video. And then obviously, whenever you take an A4, you can get 120 shards. So that way you can get one of the imprint stones, the moon and star. And then you can also get these little items here. So that way you can, speed up your progression as far as getting another memory to A6 and A7, the character. And then, as you guys can see, we have the Rush Dungeon in here, where in the Rush Dungeon, and as I always say, guys, when it comes to farming in the Rush Dungeon, always wait until the third day, this slot here, before you start farming in this thing, or actually one day before you start farming here, because you're going to get more bang for your buck as far as these coins are concerned. But in this thing, we do have this new card set that everybody can get for free, which gives you a solid 30% increase of attack, and increases opposing light fighter starlight and darkness damage by 50%, and increases starlight and darkness damage by 100% for 20 seconds when opposing light fighter stands a critical hit. Real tongue twister, guys. The artwork looks amazing on these things. Really nice. Always nice to get free items. And of course, you have the cachet nuts, which we'll talk about probably in another video, because right now I can't really test that at all, as we'll talk about it. And this nice, we'll be able to get these rubies every day. And again, you can farm for your dice every day for the dice game in the Rush Dungeon, which is pretty damn sweet. And then we have the Ages Challenge, guys. I'm gonna get in this in another video, but it looks like you're going to be able to only use certain characters in this thing. Really, we need some cachet nuts before we can actually fight Guinness. You can see the elements here. I'm going to talk about this in another video, but I want to remain reserved on my judgment of this game mode until I actually can play it and see how accessible it is for all the players out there. And then, of course, we have the deals in the shop. Don't really want to get into these guys. Same old when it comes to the deals, in all honesty. And then we get into the fighters, right? First, we'll take a look at their cards. So when it comes to the cards, guys, their option card here, increase attack, decrease skill cooldown by 1.3 seconds. That's nice. Increases extreme fighter blast skill damage by 30%. This is OP option card for characters with blast skills, guys. That is nuts. Like, this card on Kula would be absolutely insane if you have her above A5, and I imagine definitely on the new characters as well. That is crazy. And for Iori, actually, because his first skill concentrate is also blast skill also. So this is really OP card. Nice. And it works on all EX fighters. So that's pretty golden. Then you have the 3PG for good old Lady Guinness that increases critical rate by 15%. And then you also have the increased critical damage of all teammates, including self, by 15% for good old Chizuru. Now, I have not looked at their kits at all. Let's look at their set cards. So for the set cards, guys, increase extreme fighter critical rate by 7%. The next one increases the balanced type fighter combat power, okay, for all combat characters in the game. And then, of course, the 30% chance to increase your PG gain up to 5 bars. And then when a balanced type fighter lands a skill, their blast skill damage is increased by 50% and critical rate by 10%. So again, guys, along with that option card, this is some really ridiculous increase to your blast skill damage. Wow. Increased critical damage by 20% when an Extreme Fire lands a skill up to 120%. So this goes up to 120% critical damage, and then increase attack by 30% when landing a skill on a Starlight or Darkness enemy up to 120%. So this is really going to be specifically for Lady Goenitz and Chizuru. However, if you use a striker that has, or a character before you bring in another character that has Starlight or Darkness, and then you bring in your next character, they will get this buff. So even though Kula doesn't have Starlight or Darkness, if you use a character with Starlight or Darkness, whether it's a striker or the character prior to using her, she will get this buff. And Iori actually has Darkness in his kit, so this actually really work. This would work really well on Iori as well. So it's pretty sweet set cards, my friends. And then we get into the characters. So they're both balanced type fighters. We're going to start with Chizuru. So the leadership guys increases red element fighter attack by 60% and 3 sacred treasure fighter attack by 40%. So the fact that she's a red and the fact that she increases sacred treasure fighters is godly. This is 100% attack for Kyo and Iori because they are both red fighters. They're both EX fighters. Kyo just got a buff. This is crazy for those characters, but still a solid leadership for red element fighters. That's OP. And then we have the strike skill increase. We're just going to scroll down here. Increase attack of all teammates except for self by 100% for 20 seconds upon landing an active skill on a Starlight enemy. So right there, guys, already tells you that she is definitely got an insane support passive right there along with her leadership. And then, of course, the attack of all teammates. Increase their own attack by 5% for 12 seconds upon using a blast skill, and decrease all active skill cooldowns by 2 seconds upon landing each active skill. That's going to be freaking nuts. You're going to be able to plow through her skills over and over and over, guys, and keep her hyper armor up for quite some time. And then you have immune to stun, fear, burn, darkness, and starlight. Gains damage immediately for 5 seconds when HP is 30% or below. Gains critical hit shield. So lots of survivability, but I'm not seeing a heal. And then we get into her kit. So when it comes to her kit, her EX core increases own blast active skill damage by 100%. This is only for herself, and decrease own active skill cooldowns by 90% for 10 seconds, which is kind of like Sarah. You'll be able to run through your skills and just use all of your skills. We'll see how that plays out. So it doesn't look like she got concentrate or anything like that. And then resets attack cooldowns, increases blast skill damage of all team members by 50%. So that's just a solid support passive right there. And then her first skill increases strike skill damage of all team members, including self, by 40%. Again, guys, just an insane support passive along with her core. Wow. Deals starlight damage equal to 1,000% of attack to enemies for every second for 12 seconds. Stuns all enemies on the screen, which is going to be very annoying in PvP for a lot of players. And then applies Starlight for 12 seconds while landing a skill. Deals Starlight damage equal to 1,000% of attack every 1 second. And increase damage speed by 100%. This, guys, is going to be another insane support passive. So she has 100% attack from her core. She has the increased all target damage received. She has the increase to strike skills for all team members. And then she also, upon landing a target, becomes dazed for 6 seconds, decreasing damage dealt by 70%, defenses by 8%, and increases blast skill damage of all teamers, including self, by 60%. So again, this is just nuts for 15 seconds. So it looks like they really went down the support for Chizuru, even though she looks very, very strong. So far, they really did go down the support role bigger than crap, guys. And then her third skill is an interrupt skill, has hyper armor for 4 seconds, and increases own active skill damage by 125% for 12 seconds upon use. And this goes up to 250%. And whenever you click on this baby, then resets the cooldown of your main 31 Katsu combo upon use. Deals physical damage equal to 5,000 of attack upon landing a skill on a Starlight enemy. And that's going to be really, really OP for damage. Damn. So this actually resets this skill. Interesting. And then her default just resets all of her skills at once, which is pretty nice. And her, oh my God, her striker's nuts. Increased blast skill damage by 30% for 15 seconds. That's OP. Like tons and tons of blast skill supports on this character. Oh my God. Wow. There's that stun, the starlight. Oh, that's going to be an annoying skill to deal with right there, guys. That's always been one of the most annoying things for Chizuru. It's like forever lasting, like all those hits. And then it throws it out, which is nice. Right? Those are both on the same skill. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely going to be a pretty annoying character to play. Let's just take a look at her 3PG. This thing's pretty damn cool. I do like her 3PG a lot. Man, it's a long one too. That's nice. That's pretty damn nice. Chizuru looks awesome, by the way. Like the character looks wonderful. She looks totally beautiful. And then we take a look at Lady Goenitz, who's a yellow balance, increased yellow element fighter attack by 50%, critical rate by 15%. Good leadership for yellow fighters. Not the best, but still good. She has increased damage by 30% critical hit. So this is kind of an indication already, guys, that it looks like Lady Goenitz is going to be the powerhouse of these two. And Chizuru is going to be a support after, everything that we just looked at. Doesn't mean that Chizuru won't be strong. Her kit looks very, very strong. It's just, it just screams support all over it. She does have decreased damage received by 80% when HP is 60% or below. Gains damage immunity for 5 seconds when down to 30% HP on 8-second cooldown. So that's really OP. Increased own attack by 30% and finisher skill damage by 10% for 10 seconds upon using a blast skill. And up to 300% attack and 100% finisher skill damage. So very OP buffs. And then immune to stun, fear, starlight, and darkness switches to cruel state, which is that red state that we were all looking at before. At least that's what I'm assuming from her trailer. Upon using an active skill 1 and merciful upon using an active skill 3 and increases finisher skill damage by 100%, while cruel increases active skill damage by 400%, while merciful only one effect applies at any given point. So you're only going to have either one of these two applying at one time. It's going to be really interesting to play with this character, in all honesty, guys. And then we have her EX core. Active skills and finisher skill enhanced for 10 seconds upon using Blood Frenzy. Enhances skill effects are applied separately. Previously activated attacks. And then when we click on here, gains maximum power every 1 second for 10 seconds and decreases active skill finisher skill cooldown by 80% upon use, which means that she has limitless, guys. That means she has limitless. Let me kind of scroll up here. Let's click on this again. Yeah. So right there tells you guys that she's going to have limitless, guys. She's going to be able to do her default over and over and over, and she's going to be able to do her skills over and over and over. And then her other EX skill, increase own black active skill damage by 100%, decrease own active skill cooldowns by 90% for 10 seconds, which is, that looks pretty OP too. So that's something we can definitely check out in the future as far as, which is actually going to do more damage, but, she's going to be A5 in order to find that out. Her first skill gives an increased attack by 300%, Starlight by 300%, resets the cooldown of the Wanhu Tsukubu skill, which resets the second skill. I guarantee I butchered that name. And then her second skill deals physical damage to 800% of attack every 0.15 seconds for 1 second upon landing a skill on enemies affected by Starlight. Increase own critical damage by 200%, which is OP. Increase own active skill damage by 120% for 10 seconds, up to 360%, which is just crazy. And then her third skill stuns enemy, decreases enemy defenses by 8%, increases their damage received by 100%. Again, a really good support passive right there, or support in her skill, and resets cooldown of her second skill. Also, so her first and second skill reset the cooldown of her second skill, which is pretty damn OP. And then her finisher, when you take a look at this thing, has a 100% chance to reset active skill cooldowns. So she'll reset her active skill cooldowns after doing her 3PG, increases blast skill damage by 20% for 12 seconds after using a skill. And after knowing that she has limitless, this is going to be very, very, very strong. Her striker skill deals Starlight and Darkness damage equal to 50% of attack to all enemies for 0.5 seconds for 12 seconds. And then when you click on this little guy, right, you look at the buffs here, now increases her finisher skill damage by 200%, deals darkness damage equal to 350% of attack. And then her second skill actually increases her finisher skill damage by 140%. This is going to be really OP, guys, for the Limitless effect, where she decreases the finisher's skill cooldown by 80%, deals physical damage equal to 900% of attack. And then also the third skill, increase target physical damage received by 10% for 12 seconds upon landing a skill, and applies fear to everyone on the screen. Oh, wow. So she's got stun and fear to everybody in the screen. And then the finisher looks like it stays the same. I mean, she looks freaking OP as hell. She looks ridiculous. All right, nice. Super fast, super fast. Wow, 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 wow. Very, very cool. I just love the slashing that she does. Oh, that's going to be an annoying skill. I wonder if that thing follows everybody around on the screen. Oh, it looks so cool. It looks so cool. Wow. Oh, that's going to hit anyone. Like, no matter where you're at in the screen, that's going to hit you. And that's cool. It does that little explosion at the end. Wow. That's pretty wild. And there's that fear. Yeah, man, she's going to be... Like, seriously, these skills look devastating. They look absolutely devastating. Woof. Woof. Look at all those hits. Look at all those hits. Oh, my Lord. Wow. 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 The tornadoes coming out. And then the cool ass 3PG that we all got to see in that trailer, which looks pretty damn sick. Yeah, she got the demonetism going on for sure. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So, I mean, I don't think it really needs to be said whether or not, you should pull for these characters. It's really up to you if you want to pull for them or not, guys. Always remember that in Kofa's every update, we just seem to get more power creep, just seem to get characters that are stronger. You can pretty much bet that Lady Goenitz here is going to be probably the strongest character in the game. I'm almost guaranteeing it. I don't know that for sure, but she looks pretty ridiculous. And it definitely looks like Chizuru is going to be mainly a support more than anything. Now, some people are going to feel some kind of way about that because, Chizuru might be their favorite character. And I totally understand it because she is one of the original Sacred Treasure characters, a very beloved character. But the thing is, guys, they made her into support, which lasts the test of time in the game. Characters like Lady Goenitz, who are super, super OP, yeah, they're super strong, and that's really great for a good while, and you definitely can use it for a long time. But these support characters, they just remain relevant for a super long time. And also remember, guys, if you have Chizuru and you have her at A5 and you have your Sacred Treasure team, you have Iori on the team, whenever Iori gets a rework, because he probably will, because Kyo already got one, I mean, she's just going to buff up him tremendously. So that's also something else to keep in mind. So I'm actually pretty happy with what they did. It really remains to be seen how strong these characters actually are until we actually do pulls for them. I'm definitely going to be doing pulls for them. That card set looks absolutely insane. So I do wish you all good luck on your pulls, and we definitely will be talking more about this Ages Challenge in the future. So guys, let me know what you think about this update. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. T+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See everybody. Take care.